Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, dun, dun.
Look
Hello,
at you
hello,
have
hello.
such nice things.
Yeah, nice things. Today I have also the
Yeah.
amethyst.
Do you
Ooh.
like purple?
I like purple. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
very
I've
observant.
noticed that a lot of things you have are purple.
I guess you're right. What else do I? I don't have. Actually, you're right, Sahar. Yes, I do have a purple pen that I love.
Okay.
I love this purple pen.
Yeah.
Do I have other purple things? I mean, the top part of my kazoo,
Uh-huh.
purple. But I don't have that. Oh yeah, and my hat. The hat that I love this hat. It's really warm.
Mm-hmm.
I got it
Yeah.
from North Face, which tends to be a little expensive, but I was always riding my bike, and I'm like, yeah. So I just
Yeah.
get it, and it's really, really warm and nice.
At least it's warm, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
I
So
could knit you a hat.
you could really?
Yeah.
I feel that knitted hats, though, are not as warm as pile.
Oh no. Nothing is as warm as pile.
So this hat here is pile, and I really like
Mm-hmm.
it. But do you like the color purple?
I used to a lot.
Mhm.
Now it's just like it's there, but I really,
There.
really
Okay. Yes, the color purple
it's
is there.
there.
Let's write that down. The color purple is there.
Yeah. And it's like the kind of color that you don't find in nature. So like I prefer colors that you can see in nature.
I'm gonna write. I love the
Yeah.
color purple. What color do you love or like?
Blue.
The color blue.
Hmm.
Color do you like? So if anyone's joining us, what color do you like? I love the color purple. Sahar likes the color blue. What color do you like? Da, da, da. I'm used to my favorite color used to be green. It
Mm.
also because green is the color of nature, of
Yeah.
nature of trees, leaves, all this, not trees, but leaves. And then I don't know, I guess also purple is like considered the color of the crown chakra, right? So it's like
Yeah.
cosmic connection. I don't know. Something about purple being also the fusion of red and blue. I think it's
Hmm.
really, really a beautiful color. I
Yeah,
would
like
like to
it
wear
is,
more, but
but lighter. I prefer lighter color, like not
hmm.
purple that you see it, but just like a soft purple, light
Yeah,
purple.
yeah, I agree. So not this kind of purple.
No, I like that. That
This
is
is
so
a very
fancy.
bright
That is
purple.
so fancy.
I'm looking. Well, I have a toothbrush, but it doesn't really have purple. But I just have random objects here with me in case I need them. So what is your name?
Me?
Yeah,
All
we'll do a little review. So the
right, all right.
people joining us, we
So,
also want you to tell us your name, who you are. But in the meantime, we can ask each other some basic
mhm,
questions.
yeah.
What is
So
your
my
name?
name is Sahar. I'm originally from Iran. I was born in San Francisco. I've lived in Italy for 15 years.
Not
So,
10 years.
no, because I lived at the beginning of my life 7 years here
Mhm.
in oh, it's actually more than 15. It's probably 16. But anyway, 7 years at the beginning of my life here in Italy.
Mhm.
Then I went 7 years in Iran. And then
Mhm.
I came back 9 years ago.
Interesting. I also spent 7 years in Iran. No, it's not true. But I have been to San Francisco. Yes.
You've been to San Francisco. Yeah, we're both from California.
Yeah, exactly. Represents. Yeah. How long did you live in San Francisco?
Next question.
Hmm. Okay, so you
No,
were born,
I haven't really lived in San Francisco. Let's just say San Francisco lived with me.
but you were born there.
I was born there,
That's
but my
nice.
mom didn't really like the place. So
Yeah. It's a very, 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 very expensive city.
apart from it being expensive, but it's a completely different lifestyle than we have in Italy, for example, or also in
Sure.
Iran.
Sure.
So yeah, well, I was telling you, like, I really miss Iran because we have this really. That's probably the reason why our economy is so bad. Everyone is so chill.
That's, I mean, on one hand, talking about our last webinar about relaxing, that's great. Chill, right? The quality of life is nice.
Yeah. No, as in everyone is so chill. Society divided in rich and poor, that kind of stuff. The rich are very chill.
So there's not much of a middle class in Iran. Interesting.
No.
Interesting. So I'll introduce myself. I am Monique. I am from Los Angeles, California, the same fine state as Sahar. So California, which is one of the biggest states in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
And I love the flag. It's a bear.
On the flag, there's a bear. Exactly. There's a beautiful bear. There are many bears in our state, in California. There's a lot of beautiful nature as well. Sometimes people don't think about the nature of Southern California or of California, but in fact, there's the desert, which personally I love. I love going to the desert. There is a desert 2 hours from Los Angeles called Joshua Tree. It's really, really magical. You can see the stars at night, and it's vast, and it's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, the nature is like a big part actually of the United States. It varies so much from state to state.
It does. There's a lot of nature in the US.
Like you said, a desert, Joshua Tree in the south of California, but in the north there's Yosemite, and it's completely the opposite.
Yeah, very dense, rich, beautiful. Nature. And then of course, we have the ocean, so the Pacific Ocean. So close to where my mom lives is Santa Monica, for example, Malibu, Venice Beach.
Yeah.
A beach I really like is called Zuma Beach because it's a bit outside of the center of the city.
Yeah.
So less people. It's really nice. The waves are huge, though. The waves of the Pacific Ocean are huge. And what else? Then there's also the Hollywood Hills, which are quite fun. Yeah, so from Los Angeles.
I remember
what?
I told you my cousin used to live in Santa Monica. And when I went to visit him, I remember he would take me to Malibu and says, like film stars come to this beach. And we literally found no one. And I was so hoping to find Brad Pitt.
That's so funny. Yeah, when you get to, you've been to Los Angeles, but they sell maps to the stars, right? Did you see them? They're called Maps to the Stars. So this is not astrological maps, although those are also nice, maps to the stars. These are actually maps so you can go and see where Brad Pitt lives, for example.
No, that is like such a violation of privacy.
Exactly. There's the area of Beverly Hills, and there's also Bel Air, which is going a little bit up the Hollywood Hills. And you can get maps. And in fact, you see people often that are just driving slowly to look at the house where celebrities live.
Poor guys.
I don't know. I don't know who's poorer, the people that are being looked at or the people that are wanting to see the houses of the rich and famous. That is something I do not like. I am not interested in that. Well, hello, good morning. We have our colleague, Joanna from Cape Town, South Africa, who says,
Hola.
Webinar and Friday. Thank you very much. And
today is Friday.
Today is Friday. And we
TGIF.
Exactly. What is TGIF?
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Yes. So thank you, Joanna. It's lovely to hear from you. How are you? Yes, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. God, whatever you believe in is great. Whatever energy is great. So our question is, where do you live and what is there in your city? So we invite everyone watching, including our colleague, Joanna from South Africa, to say, where do you live and what is there in your city? Yes, lovely. All right, shall we dive into our lovely focus? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, is everyone ready?
I was born ready.
Yeah, exactly. I was born ready. Okay. Can you read here, Sahar?
My neighborhood, where do you live? I live in Bologna.
Okay.
What is there in your city? There is, there isn't. There are, there aren't.
Yeah, exactly. And what is the difference between there is and there are?
Well, there is for singular. There is one park, for example. There are two parks, plural.
Awesome.
There are.
So, where do you live?
Right now I live in a really small town called Cento, and
Mhm.
it's between Ferrara and Bologna.
Very cool.
There is one cinema which is closed. There are
Actually, so if it was open, that might be concerning.
there is a park, maybe
One
more
part.
than one. No, maybe two. I don't know. No, I don't know.
Okay.
There are many churches
Hmm.
and there are many grocery shops.
Nice. And do you like Cento?
Compared to
Teheran?
no, Tehran is Tehran.
Yeah.
In Tehran, you can find everything, and when I say everything, I literally mean everything.
So, what is there in Tehran, for example?
In Tehran, there are a lot of cinemas, a
Really?
lot, and the cinemas work like maybe even they work in the morning, so you can go watch a movie in the morning,
That's
even
cool. Wow.
until like late at night, maybe 1 or 2 a.m. There are a lot of malls,
Oh, yes.
so many.
Okay. What is
It's
a
like
mall, Sahar? A vocabulary word. What is
a
a mall?
mall is a very, very big building with a lot of shops in it,
Yeah.
or also cafes,
A very big
restaurants.
building where there are many shops and cafes. Yeah.
I think malls are such a Middle Eastern thing.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I can think of in Israel too, there's a lot of malls. Like, yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I was growing up too, though, for example, when I was like 12 or
Mm-hmm.
11, there was a mall that we would go to. I don't know why. I don't love malls personally.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, again, my aunt, she lives in Netanya, which is about 45 minutes north of Tel Aviv in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And she really likes the mall. And I understand because it's convenient.
Yeah.
You go to the mall and you find everything. Do you like malls?
Yeah. I like them only in Iran, to be honest.
Okay.
Like,
Not in Italy, not in San
mm,
Francisco.
not really, because like I don't know, it has this thing in Iran that I really like. We also have a lot of jewelry shops there, and the
Jewelry.
jewelry, yeah,
Oh,
and jewelry in Iran is very well done. It's like
mhm.
very you you can't find them anywhere else.
Wow.
And I really like to look at those shops.
Do you really? Do you like to buy jewelry?
Yeah,
Yeah, really?
yeah, I like the too. Earrings, especially.
What sort of material is used in Iran for jewelry?
A lot of gold,
Mm-hmm.
silver. You know the
Interesting.
usual. Oh, also one that is the it's like bronze.
Wow. It makes me think of in Chile, the Mapuche people. We were talking about indigenous communities. They make beautiful jewelry out of silver, and it's
Hmm.
very thin silver. It's really
Yeah.
beautiful. I gifted my mom. I was in Chile in 2003.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, I don't know,
Oh God, it's
17 years
17
ago,
years
a
ago.
long time ago. And I got my mom a necklace, a Mapuche necklace with very thin
Mhm.
silver, and she still has it. So
That is so sweet.
yeah, yeah, it's really lovely.
Mm.
So what
No,
else?
if I like go to the mall, it's usually like I'm very close to departing, and I'm like actually going to buy as much as I can things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, souvenirs.
Dates.
Yeah. No, dates not at the mall. Yeah. I have my own date guy.
Okay, excellent. What else is there in Tehran, or what isn't there? You said there's everything, but is there anything that there isn't in Tehran?
No.
Like, I don't know. Are there Italian restaurants?
Yeah, so many.
Really?
We have all kinds of restaurants. We have Italian restaurants. Okay, it really depends because I don't think there's also a Hungarian restaurant, but to my knowledge, knowing Tehran, there probably is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Italian restaurants, a lot of American restaurants. So restaurants, American fast foods, that name has changed.
Yeah.
So it's not Burger King, but it's something like King Burger.
Yes, in Israel too. That's very funny. Yeah.
They're trying to change it because
okay, and then it's totally not.
Yeah, no, they try to change it because the relationship and all. And
Sure.
Another funny thing that we have is the cans of Coca-Cola. So, for example, let me just show you one thing here.
And if anyone's just joining us now, please tell us your name, and we want to know, where do you live? So please tell us, where do you live?
This is a very normal Western kind of opening, right? Yeah. So it's basically you do this and it's open.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, in Iran, you have this is actually the starting point, this.
Yeah.
And you have to go all the way down.
Oh, interesting. To open it. Yeah, that sounds very familiar to me. I think there's a lot of similarities between just kind of on a very practical level between Israel and Iran, which is so interesting, right?
Considering
So I have a question for you here. Now, so now we want to use the word any. Are there any good Italian restaurants in Tehran? But there may be a lot of people that are wondering, Sahar, are there any good Italian restaurants in Tehran?
Any good Italian restaurants? There definitely are, but not that I know of. Because when I go to Iran, living in Italy, I don't go to Italian restaurants. I go to Persian restaurants. Mashti.
What is mashti?
It's an idiom. It's something like manly, kind of grotesque. Not grotesque, no. Spartan.
Very interesting.
Yeah, mashti.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not a fancy restaurant where you just like have 1,000 knives and 1,000 forks. It's just like very, yeah.
Let's dive. I think we'll dive into our focus now, so we can get cracking on this. Talking about my neighborhood. So a neighborhood is what? What is a neighborhood?
A neighborhood is, well, we actually have a really nice map to show you, but it's basically a city that is divided in like sectors. We were talking about Bologna.
That's right. We can see the neighborhoods of Bologna. But first, let's dive in a minute and see. Also, neighborhood, it's common in the US to say hood. So we take off neighbor and say hood. So maybe you've heard of the boys in the hood are always right. Hood is a short for neighborhood in slang. But and the objectives, Sahar, what are the objectives?
Neighborhood vocabulary. There are adverbs of frequency.
Yeah, so we already saw there is singular, there are plural. So there is a big, beautiful piece of amethyst, and there are 52 cards in my deck of Greek mythology cards. Okay, lovely. So talking about neighborhoods. So
This is actually San Francisco.
this is San Francisco. Yeah. Let's reveal the questions. And maybe we'll read 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is San Francisco. The question is, where do you live?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
What neighborhood do you live in?
Mm-hmm. Is your neighborhood big or small?
Do you like your neighborhood?
And do you like your neighbors? Sahar, do you like your neighbors?
Oh, I really don't know my neighbors.
Really?
No, if you mean the house in Bologna, I just know that the woman living next to us has just had a baby.
Wow.
Yeah, and I see the baby and he's so cute.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
And I know that my neighbors upstairs are very, 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 very
Loud.
very, 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 very loud.
Mine too in Bologna. I don't know why. Every time, every day after lunch, they move furniture. They
Yes,
just move furniture.
Wait a second. They must be related. Maybe they're cousins or something. Because they also do. They have 2 young kids.
My God, the kids.
I don't know, but it's a connection of things. It's playing with the marbles, furniture, running. It sounds like planning for the Olympics. Seriously.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy. I'm used to it now, but my roommate is more sensitive to it and gets really bothered by it. So,
have you ever talked to them?
Yeah, we've knocked on the door a few times. We sent an email to the building manager.
Yeah.
That they just say, "Oh, well, they're kids." Now we just we go, okay. It's okay.
And what do the parents say?
No, the parents are also they don't say anything. They say they're kids and we're doing our best, basically.
Oh, so there is like, well,
they're just very loud.
Basically telling you that's your problem.
Exactly. But speaking of neighborhoods, let's take a look, as you mentioned, at a neighborhood. So I'm going to choose. Do you remember where my brother lives?
Well, in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't remember which part though. Sorry. Free.
Okay, that's okay. Let's take a look at Brooklyn. Can you see it okay?
Fort Greene.
Right. Okay, so this here is a map of, so let me write it here. This is a map of the neighborhoods of Brooklyn, New York City.
In New York City.
New York. Okay, so this here is a map of the neighborhoods of Brooklyn, New York, right? So this shows us what neighborhoods are. It's different divisions of a city, right? So in this case, I lived in New York for 2 years and I lived in Brooklyn. So Sahar might ask me, what neighborhood did you live in? Well, I lived here in Fort Greene. When I lived in Fort Greene, my brother lived here in Park Slope. No, sorry, in Prospect Heights.
Uh-huh.
So it was about 3 stops on the subway.
Okay.
Now I live in Bologna in Italy, and my brother moved from Prospect Heights to Fort Greene.
Yeah.
So he lives about 5 minutes away from where I used to live.
No way.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But it's nice. So these are different neighborhoods of Brooklyn. So
and which one is the best neighborhood?
It's hard to say. Where I lived in Fort Greene I was very lucky. It was my best friend Lauren who lived there, and she had a free room. So that's how I started living in Brooklyn. It was 2014 when I moved there, and I lived there for 2 years. Park Slope is a really nice neighborhood. Red Hook is a cool neighborhood. There's a lot of art in Red Hook. This area here, Williamsburg, is the more hipster neighborhood, quite expensive.
Oh, really?
Very cool. Very cool. Greenpoint is a cool neighborhood.
Where's the ghetto?
Well, it's the more you get inland, right? So here you have it's close to Manhattan. So this all is Manhattan, where there are also many, many neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's Manhattan. The closer areas to Manhattan tend to be more gentrified, right?
Yeah.
They have a bit more, especially lately, maybe over the past 10 years, there's been more development, more buildings that have been constructed. And so the more, I guess, ghetto or the less affluent parts of town, or however we want to call them, are more here, maybe Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy. This area here together is called Bed-Stuy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Crown Heights, but I have friends that live in Crown Heights. I have a dear friend who lives in Bed-Stuy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much happening, right? If we talk about what is there and what are there are a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
There are a lot of restaurants. Where I lived in Fort Greene, on the same street, which was called Fulton Street, there was a Jamaican restaurant. So let's say there is a Jamaican restaurant, there is a Thai restaurant, there is a Vietnamese restaurant.
Is there a Persian restaurant?
That is a good question. I don't know if on Fulton Street there is a Persian restaurant. I could research it after, but it can also be Googled. But there probably is a Persian restaurant somewhere
in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. This is definite. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So that was a nice share. Let's go and dive back into our focus here.
Oh.
Is dun, 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 dun. Give me a minute.
Yeah, don't worry.
Have you been to Brooklyn?
Yeah, I've been to New York once for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I also visited Brooklyn, but I was very young, so I don't really remember.
3 days. That's a short trip.
Because I wanted to go, like, it was basically a short stop, and then we would stay in Maryland.
Oh, right. What is in Maryland?
My aunt lives in Maryland, another aunt. And my cousin at the time used to work at the White House. Yeah.
Wow.
She was the secretary of a senator. I don't remember which senator, to be honest. But yeah, so basically then we went to visit Washington, D.C. and Boston.
Very cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So Sahar, why don't you ask me these questions and I will answer.
All of them?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Bologna, a beautiful city in the center of Italy, north central Italy.
Some people in Veneto say it's the south.
Yeah, exactly. It's south of Veneto, yes.
Yeah. What neighborhood do you live in?
So I live in Mazzini, which is a neighborhood just outside the historic center.
Mm-hmm. Is your neighborhood big or small?
That's a good question. I would say my neighborhood is small.
Compared to
the historic center.
Oh, okay. Do you like your neighborhood?
Yes, I like my neighborhood. There are a lot of trees. There are not a lot of buildings. There are not too many people.
Oh.
There are not too many cars. There is not a lot of parking. There is no bar near my house. Well, there is, but not directly under my house. It's a little bit of a walk.
Oh, so like what?
Yeah, a bar, like to get coffee.
Oh, okay, to get coffee.
Yeah,
yeah. I used to stay in Bologna near Ospedale Sant'Orsola.
Yeah.
And on that street, I found my favorite coffee place.
Wow.
Yeah, it has the best croissant, the best brioche. Sorry?
You still go there?
Well, not right now.
Right now, of course not right now.
But when this all is over, I plan on going there and having 2 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
I suffered too much.
5 croissants.
Exactly.
I guess, do you like your neighbors? We already talked about this.
Yeah, like neighbors.
So, do you have neighbors?
Sorry?
Now, do you have neighbors?
Right, yeah, right now, yes, I have also neighbors and they are nice. Maybe like I can hear the TV when I go to the bathroom of the other person, and I think they have kids. Yeah.
Interesting.
The other day I heard the intro song.
Antonio, thank you. Nice to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
About my neighborhood. So if you want, tell us, what neighborhood do you live in?
Yeah, and where do you live in?
And where do you live? Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the best neighbors I've ever had were in Iran because our mothers knew each other because both of us went to the same school. She was much younger, but we went to the same school, and basically they lived on the 14th floor.
Right.
So my mom would just like take elevator rides and ask like, "Hey, do you have an onion? Yeah, here you go. Do you have eggs? Here you go."
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. I have nice neighbors that live next door.
Yeah.
The neighbors upstairs are very loud and very rude.
Yeah, rude.
Rude. But the neighbors next door are very, very sweet. There's a girl from Sardinia, and a girl from, I don't know where she's from, but they're very, very sweet. And I hear them often laughing and cooking, and I sometimes can smell what they're cooking. They're very, very nice. So I'm very lucky. Yeah, lucky to have nice neighbors this way. And I actually met the neighbor downstairs. He is an English teacher.
No way.
Yeah, she's quite older, but then she said, "Oh, if you would like, we can meet up." And I said, "Okay, goodbye."
Is she Italian?
Yes.
An Italian English teacher?
She's Italian. I think she's at least 55, 60 years old. And she teaches at a public school. So it's very different.
Yeah, completely different from our...
Yeah, so let's move to our next slide here. And we see vocabulary matching. So let's read alternating the different vocabularies. So we have library,
post office,
dog park,
pharmacy,
hair salon,
church,
and school. So church, it could also be a mosque, it could also be a synagogue, it could also be a Baha'i temple, right? There's many Baha'i, or maybe not many, but there are some Baha'i in Iran as well, no?
Oh yeah, but they have to live in secret.
Yeah,
they can't say that they are Baha'i.
Yeah.
Baha'i, we say actually.
What do you mean?
Baha'i.
Interesting. Do you know where the center of the Baha'i religion is?
I know that it was supposedly born in Turkey, in San Francisco.
In San Francisco? Okay.
No, because you put the picture down.
I know the center, and I'm not sure where it was born, but the head location is actually in Haifa, which is in northern Israel.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So Antonio is saying, I live in Rome. Good. So where do you live? So I'll ask you, and Sahar, you respond as Antonio. So where do you live?
I live in Rome.
What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in a neighborhood near the city.
Yeah. Is your neighborhood big or small?
My neighborhood is big.
Yeah. Rome is a very, very big city, right? And do you like your neighborhood?
What do you mean?
Okay. Good question. That's okay. I can't finish my work. Okay. The question, what do you mean, is a very, very well put question. Neighborhood, do you like your neighborhood means, do you like the area you live in? So maybe you live in, let's see, Basilica San Paolo, or maybe you live in
the Vatican City,
Re di Roma, or if you live in Rome, maybe you live in Prati, maybe you live in Let's see here. I don't know. Centocelle. These are all neighborhoods of Rome. So then the question is, do you like your neighborhood, right? So I live in Mazzini neighborhood of Bologna, and I like my neighborhood. What
Yes.
neighborhood do you live in Bologna, Sahar?
I live in Via del Pratello and I love it.
Yeah, Pratello is a beautiful neighborhood.
It's so beautiful, and you just want to get a beer. You just have to go downstairs, and it's so cool.
Okay, Antonio says, I live near Re di Roma. I live near Maes Ponte Lungo. Fantastic. So, Antonio, the question number 4 is, do you like your neighborhood? Which means, in your case, do you like Re di Roma? I love Re di Roma. Fantastic area. Do you know Re di Roma?
No. Where is it?
It's an area along the Appia Nuova, so the Appian Way.
Yeah, the one that takes you to Naples.
No, it's in the city of Rome.
Oh, okay, in the city.
If you go from the Colosseum, you go on the Appian Way.
Oh, okay.
San Giovanni, and then you get to Re di Roma. It's a wonderful part of the city, personally. And they have fantastic supplies. There's a specific place in Re di Roma that they say is the place where you get the best supplies in Rome. Have you had a suppli?
No.
Yeah, so they're rice balls. They're like arancini, but they're smaller. It's a typical thing you eat in Rome.
No,
so I love Rome. So Antonio says, yes, I do. Okay, good. Do you like your neighbors? No, I don't. He says, that's so right. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, no, Antonio, a secret. We don't like our neighbors either. In fact, I can hear my neighbors upstairs now running with the agreeing finger. Good. Okay. So very nice. Excellent, Antonio. Good job. So let's move to the matching here. So we have some suggestions.
Okay.
All right.
So A, library.
A, library. Yes. Good.
B, church.
Okay. Fantastic.
C, post office. Yeah. D.
Okay, so we're on D now. Which one is D? Is it dog park, pharmacy, hair salon, or school? D. I mean, I hope it's not school, although some schools do have often.
Some universities.
Maybe universities. Maybe it's a class in school where they're studying medicine. This is possible, but yeah, so we have library. Another thing to remember is a library is not the place where you buy books, but it's
where you read.
Yeah, where you
or borrow.
A place to borrow or read books. Whereas a bookstore is a place to buy books, and we'll put some money signs. And Antonio says, I can't see it because I'm using my smartphone. No problem, Antonio. We'll share those. So library, just to remember, in Bologna, the main library is Sala Borsa.
Oh.
Library. What?
I miss it.
I miss it. A place to borrow or read books, not to buy books. And I didn't write. Sorry, I didn't write the last. Oh yeah, bookstore is a place.
Yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah. Okay, good. F, dog.
E, school.
Very nice dog emoticon. I'm impressed. So D, Antonio, is a picture of medicine, of pills.
Pills.
D. E is school. Let's see. Okay, maybe because the smartphone. So yeah, F, dog park. And salon. 2 thumbs up. Excellent.
Very good.
So now we want to say how often. Sahar, can you read?
Use these words and phrases to describe habits. Never, always, every day, once a week, twice a month.
Right. So these are called adverbs of frequency. And in fact, we often use the word how often when we ask a question. How often do you? How often do you? So, examples. I never go to the dog park. And this is true. I never go.
Why not?
I don't have a dog. I go to the cinema once a month.
Yeah.
I go to school every day. So let's take a look at some examples of these. So we want some adverbs of frequency, and we will scroll down and see some more adverbs of frequency.
Yeah.
So let's see, never, sometimes, usually, often, always, every day, once a week, twice a week. Antonio says, I never speak with unknown person. Good.
Unknown
Excellent.
people.
Now we have some questions though. So, more questions. I'll ask you the first one, Sahar. How often do you eat sushi? So let us know your answers to these questions. So Sahar, how often do you eat sushi?
I eat sushi, I think, at least once a month because our colleagues also love sushi. So we organize these day trips to the sushi places.
Wow, what sushi place?
Especially the one in Via Galliera.
I don't know a sushi place in Via Galliera.
Yeah, they opened one and it's very close to the school.
Where the English school is?
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Good question. Excellent question. How do you pronounce often?
Both ways, actually. We can both say often or often.
Yeah, I mean, I would say more of a British pronunciation would be often.
Yeah.
I often eat sushi, whereas
I say often a lot. I don't know why.
Okay. I mean, I'm from Southern California, from Los Angeles, and generally we eat our words.
Yeah.
So I say often. So it's your choice. You choose to say often, where the T is completely silent. Often or often. I would not say often. It feels unnatural, but both are correct. Yeah, very good question. So I eat sushi once a week. Wow.
Oh, you like sushi?
Yeah, once a week. We would say once a week. And I eat sushi once a year.
You don't like it that much?
I love sushi. But I haven't eaten sushi in a very long time. I don't know why. Isn't that crazy?
It is. In California, especially I remember in San Francisco, I had my best sushi. Because it's a completely different style. It's not, all you can eat.
True.
It's so well done and really fills you up.
Very true. Yeah, because there's a lot of Asian immigration in California.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of great Asian food. Antonio says, I shake a shower every other day, and I say, me too. What about you, Sahar? How often do you shower?
Me too. Oh, every day.
Every day? Oh no, I do it. I think like Antonio, every other day.
Oh, every other day, he said.
Yeah.
No, I have to take a shower every day.
Do you really? Oh, interesting. Antonio says, I call my mother every evening before I go to bed. That is so sweet. Very nice.
Sweet.
I call my mom, I think, every other day.
I call my mom every morning.
Really? Every morning? What do you talk about?
How we're doing, what they're going to do today, what's their plans, and,
Oh. What is your mom's name?
Rabe.
How do you pronounce it?
Rabe.
Rabe. Did I say it okay?
Yeah, her nickname is Rabi.
Rabi. That's a beautiful name. And my mom's name is Lillian.
Lillian.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a Western name.
It's a beautiful name. Yeah. Lillian. So question number 2 is, how often do you eat pasta? Dun, dun, dun.
Not every other day, but I think, today I have rice. Yeah, maybe once a week.
Me too. Maybe, no, I think I eat pasta twice a week. Yeah, twice a week. And let's see, how often do you drink wine? Da, da, da.
How often do you drink wine? I drink wine only when I go out
Mm-hmm.
to eat, especially at an osteria or a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a very long time.
Yeah, yeah. And me, let's see, how often do I play tombola? I always lose at tombola. I
No.
never play tombola because I always lose.
I'm sorry.
I never play tombola because I always lose.
Yeah. No, I always win
Do
at
you
tombola.
really? You're very
Yeah.
lucky. Yeah. Let's see here. Antonio says, I never drink, read wine. I am a teetotal. Okay, very good vocabulary. Great.
Yeah.
I play bingo every Christmas. My grandmother loved bingo. My
Oh,
grandmother
awesome.
played bingo every day.
How
Grandma
often
Judy,
do
my
you cook?
mom's mom. What?
How often do you cook, Monique?
I cook 2 or 3 times a day.
A day.
Well, yeah, because I'm home all the time, right?
Yeah.
Antonio says I never cook, but I always eat. You are very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you cook, Sahar?
Same. 2 or 3 times a day now.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
generally
Now.
always like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I often cook. I like to cook, though. I really like to cook.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go back, dive into our focus again, and see where we're at. Okay, so how often do you go to the? So we see here how we make questions, right? So we say, how often do you go to the? So let's make some questions with this form. How often do you go to the? So Sahar, how often do you go to the bank?
I never go to the bank.
Wow, you're very lucky. Very lucky. Antonio has a question. What do you like to cook? Sahar, what do you like to cook?
I like to cook everything, but I mostly like baking.
Uh-huh.
Baking, I find it a lot more satisfying because of the, sweet things you eat later. And I also like cooking Persian dishes.
Interesting. So one note, baking, the verb, the bare infinitive to bake, cooking in the oven, right?
Mhm.
So what do you like to cook? So what do I like to cook? I like to cook. I like to cook scrambled eggs. I like to cook quiche. I like to cook vegetables. I love to cook vegetables. I think that's
How
my
do you cook vegetables?
what?
How do you cook vegetables?
I usually cook them in the frying pan
Yeah.
with, I usually start with either extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil. Put them in the pan. Then I put carrots, onions, maybe celery, and then I add my vegetables. So I'll add mushrooms, zucchini, fennel,
Oh,
ginger. I cook with a lot of ginger as well. Sometimes raisins. Antonio has another question. How often do you go to the cinema? Very good question.
if I could go to the cinema every day, I would.
Really? You love the cinema?
I love the cinema. My best childhood memory is me going to the cinema with my mom, only with her because my brother had to go to school
Yeah.
and my dad was working in the morning. So we would wake up, go get a donut by the cinema, go watch the movie, and after the movie, have lunch at a restaurant.
Wow. Very cool. That's awesome. We have some other very good questions. Excellent form. How often do you go to dance?
Oh,
How
never.
often do you go to the gym? Okay. And then Antonio says, that sounds delicious. I love fennel, ginger, and zucchini. So Antonio, what do you like to cook?
Yeah,
Right?
what do you like to cook?
Yeah, that's always a very good question. What do you like to cook? No?
You can get ideas for your recipes.
Exactly. Sahar shared with me an eggplant recipe or aubergine, which
Yeah.
sounds very interesting, which I would like to try this weekend.
Yeah.
If
Send
possible.
me the pictures.
Yeah, we'll see. If possible, though. I don't make any promises, but Antonio says, that sounds like a plan. Okay, good. So let's review a little bit of the vocabulary we saw. For example, neighborhood. What is a neighborhood?
Neighborhood is basically parts of the city. The city is divided in a few zones, and those are neighborhoods.
Exactly. So my brother lives in Fort Greene, which is a neighborhood of Brooklyn, right? Let's see here. What else had we found? How about the difference between there is and there are?
There is singular, so there is one park, there is one cinema, but for plural we say there are two parks, there are two cinemas.
Yeah. And for pronunciation, what about this question here? How often? So for the pronunciation, I say how often, and Sahar says,
How often, even though how often is more British.
yeah, but they're both correct. How often?
Yeah.
How often? Okay, so we are finished with time. We want to thank you very much for your delightful participation. It has been wonderful.
Yeah.
TCIF, have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you again very soon. Thank you, everyone.
Exactly.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.